It's time to get creative as Hale.
Be strong.
Okay, we are live. And am I unmuted? Yes. Okay. Awesome. All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Creative as Hale. I'm your host, Amy Hale, along with my wonderful husband and co-host, John Hale. Mm-hmm. We are excited to chat tonight with tonight's guest, legend of the Traveling TARDIS host, Christian Basel. But before we jump in, we need to take care of our usual business first. So let's start with... Let me find it here. I'm still slow at this. Our Patreon subscribers. There, is it going to show up? Okay. Whoops. Let's do that again.
Quit clicking it.
I know. Okay. So I want to thank our Patreon subscribers. Because of their help, we've been able to purchase some new equipment for the show. Most recently, a new boom mic for our new boom arm for our mic. And with your continued support, we'll work hard to bring you the best shows, books, and other entertainment we can. You can support us for as little as $1. So if this is something you're interested in, please check us out at the address at the bottom of the graphic. You can also find that link in the show notes. The show notes are below if you're watching on YouTube or above if you're watching on Facebook. All right. So let's also talk about the Rising Tide Network. We're very proud that Creative as Hale is part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. This is a great group of shows that are listed on the graphic. Take a screenshot or look in the show notes for more information. If you're looking for great entertainment and education, you'll find it in the Rising Tide. And just a quick reminder about upcoming appearances. We are going to be at Big River Comic-Con on April 23rd through 24th in Hannibal, Missouri. We'll also be at Riders on the River in Peoria, Illinois on July 17th. And as other events draw near, we will continue to share those events following current safety mandates and stop by our table and say hello if you can. We'd also like to ask that if you're watching this show from Facebook, that you give that page a like or a follow. And if you're watching from YouTube, please subscribe to our channel and ring that bell so you don't miss out on any of the exciting content that we have in the works. Now, without further ado, let's welcome our guest, Christian Basel. Get him unmuted and on the screen. Can we do this without messing it up? There we go.
Oh, okay. Fine.
Oh, yeah, I forgot I'm here.
But you didn't even mention the other products, Amy. How could you? Yeah, the other podcasts that you're doing. There's some other podcasts that Amy's doing. First of all, we have the religious podcast, As Hale. One with a political podcast is The Hale with You. A kids podcast, like Hale you are. Talking with the in-laws, Shut the Hale Up, and of course, fashion critique, fashionable as Hale. Yeah, so there you go. So there's a lot of podcasts, and we're all going to Hale in a handbasket.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're a bunch of Halians.
Yeah, is that what your fan base is called, Aliens?
Well, actually, I have Hale's Angels, but yeah, they're calling themselves Halians now.
Sigourney Weaver.
We're going with it.
I like the original Halian.
Oh, goodness. All right. So we are live. Everything's running. I'm still upright.
Yeah,
so
upright.
Doing good.
You have a checklist for all this?
I pretty much have to have a checklist. Yeah.
Breathing, flatulating,
Ow.
procrastinating.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what we're here for.
All right. Well, we usually start the show off by asking you to give us some background on yourself. So we'll let you introduce yourself.
Oh, God. I only have an hour, huh?
Take as much time
We're
as you
doomed. You mean nobody knows this stuff yet? Okay. Well, for those of you who are just joining us on this holy hell of a shill, that hurt, actually. I won't do that again.
Tongue twister.
My name is Christian Basel. I host a podcast called The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. The idea and the concept of the Traveling TARDIS started 8 years ago as a running joke and turned into a hobby. This is the actual Traveling TARDIS.
Nice.
Yeah, no applause or anything. Thanks a bunch there, guys. Come on. I had to wake this guy up. This was the original Traveling TARDIS. What I did is I got went on Amazon. This cost me $75. It is completely metal because had I gotten any other thing aside from diecast, this thing would probably be busted. I'd probably have like 10 other TARDISes, in the corner somewhere. They're all busted up. But the original is still kicking it. It has no bottom. I'll explain why. That's the fun part. Wait a minute. Do I have the bottom? Yeah, the bottom's here somewhere. I gotta go find her. But it started off as a hobby, and a lot of people have been doing it. They were taking pictures of TARDISes, but somehow or another, this just became like a big. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Rick.
Yep.
Glad you showed up 5 minutes after we did all of it.
Yeah.
So
just got the clap.
I got a TARDIS, and I said, it was a hobby of mine to say, took it to places where the Doctor wouldn't be. So I would take it to very odd places. If you go to the first year of the Facebook page, took it to Home Depot and Publix. Almost got in trouble at Publix. Because I was just taking pictures. I would just put it on the shelf, click, and I was just having a little bit of fun with it. It was taking pictures of it wherever I went. Took it to work, and then it just took an entity of its own self. How everything really just took off on its own. A friend of mine, God rest his soul, named Kent Spivey. We lost him, I think, beginning of last year. Mm-hmm. It was either the tail end or the beginning of last year. Or the tail end of 2019. I feel bad for him. He got me into a convention called Time Lord Fest, which started here in Orlando before it moved to Tampa and then Jacksonville, where it expanded out. And he had me do my very first panel. And the topic at that time was Doctor Who and vampires.
Okay.
If you're a Whovian, you're like, there's a topic? And it's an hour long. And I said, why don't we just play one of the episodes? And there was only truly one episode for those of you who are, classic Whovians or new Whovians. There's only one true episode that ever even puts vampires in the show. And it's not Vampires of Venice. Those are the fish people with Matt Smith. It goes all the way back to the Tom Baker era, where Dracula is even mentioned, called State of Decay. And there's actual vampires in that one, which he actually ends up killing off Dracula at the end.
I've seen that one.
But I was like, this is going to be an hour long. And at that time, I was sitting down there. I did the panel, and I kind of walked out. And I apologized. I ended up apologizing to the other panelists. They're like, I have no idea what I was talking about. We were supposed to spend an hour talking about vampires and Doctor Who, and there was only one episode that ever had that. So I'm just like BS the rest of it. And one of the girls turns to me and goes, "We thought you knew what the hell you were talking about." So I was like, well, I kind of talked it. I was kind of talking out of my rear, and some of it was kind of knowledge bound. But that was my first panel, and then people started liking what I had to say in here. And then all of a sudden, years later, I go over to MegaCon, Florida SuperCon, Space Coast Comic-Con, Tampa Bay Comic-Con, MegaCon Tampa. And at one point, Fan Expo even was kind enough to take me over to Fan Expo Dallas, which was really, it was really exciting. So, and before the COOF happened, we had like at least 12 already conventions that we were planning to go to. Now, beforehand and in between the 8 years leading up to then, I've been on other shows, I've been on other podcasts, and the last podcast I was on, which was really cool. It was a really cool concept. My friend Ian Shaw lives in the UK, and I'm here in the US. And we had a unique idea of doing like a Doctor Who discussion from a US brother and a UK brother perspective. We had on opposite sides of the pond. Unfortunately, there was a 4 to 5 hour difference, so we could never schedule each other.
Oh.
And I parted ways with him nicely. And if you get a chance, the show that he does now is called Dr. Squee. So Ian Shaw's runs that, and he's had some really good guests on, and he does some really good interviewing. Okay. And then a friend of mine who finally picked me up after a while, and he goes, I'll take you in. And we know him as well as Garrett Pomacher, who runs the Hanging with Web show. And for a while, I was his co-host at conventions, and I was part of the team for a while. And then one morning, Garrett calls me up and he goes, I think it's time. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And he goes, it's time for you to get your own podcast. And I said, no, I don't want my own podcast. Because I'd been on other podcasts, and I was just like, I kind of like being the other guy. The way that I explained it, I think I explained it, I'd rather be the Bernie Taupin than the Elton John. If that makes sense. If anybody knows that, look it up. I don't have time. But you get the idea, right? For anybody I like being the guy off to the side, not getting too much attention, but being a part of it. But he goes, no, do you understand? You've been at these panels. Everybody's been paying attention to you. And I'm like, okay. So he decided I would have my own podcast. I had no idea at the time what I was going to call it. And then I just said, you know what, just call it The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, just like what we came up with. And the first episode went okay. It was only 30 minutes at the time. It was on audio, and I think it was Gene Turnbow. I can't remember who the original cast was, but we have a totally different cast now. But Gene Turnbow, who runs now sci-fi.radio, which was Krypton Radio, the show premiered on his site. And he said, you know what, 30 minutes is not enough for you. You need to move up to 45 minutes. So 100 and some odd episodes later, I've lost count. And so many episodes and so many celebrities later, here we are. And it's been a meteoric ride that I never even dreamed what would happen. And now it's... we're up to what, 50,000 Facebook subscribers, and thousands of people watching the show every week. And we got a partnership with Wizard World that we simulcast over there. And just like I never even dreamed. And this is just our second year in existence. We're moving into our third. So I'm like, God only knows what's going on now. This month we've been doing games. If anybody's been watching the show, I was like, it just ended up this month being games. That's it. It's like, we're doing Maze Theory right now. We're going to go back to Worlds Apart, where we're doing our card opening, the virtual cards. And apparently some company, our friends of the company who run Worlds Apart, I shouldn't say some company, but they're also our sponsor. They have virtual card trading, and it's also kind of like a Bitcoin. Oh, okay. It's got a blockchain technology. I'm still getting used to this. I'm just like, wait a minute, I just bought Bitcoin in the form of the Doctor. So it's like some cool stuff. But it's been an adventure, and I mean, I can only imagine what we're going to be looking like in 5 years, especially now when the conventions open up. Yeah. And this is where we are right now. I met a lot of friends, made tons of adventures, took a lot of pictures of cosplayers, met a lot of celebrities, and wouldn't trade it for the world.
No. Cool. All because you took a TARDIS to a Home Depot. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think
you ever see that meme where it shows the one aisle section where it's like chains, hardware,
duct tape or
lubricant, duct tape. Yeah, I was just like, I took a picture of the TARDIS with that.
There's a party on that aisle.
Yeah, there's a party on that aisle, and it's always the deadest of the aisles too, which is kind of funny. So I don't know. So that in a nutshell is the Traveling TARDIS, and the legend never ends. It just keeps going.
Well, I'm excited to see where you end up. I know I've been enjoying all the episodes as a lifelong WHOvian. I've learned a lot of stuff I didn't know just from watching the show. Well, let's see, Carl. Sorry, Brian was running long. Imagine that.
At this point, I don't care. I'm saying this live. He's probably still reading comments at this moment. He will never be done. He's probably catching up. He's still reading comments from Clever Title Pending from 2 weeks
He might
ago.
be reading comments from his birthday show.
He probably is. No, it isn't, because I did his birthday show. So we got done with that.
Done with it.
Yeah, I think it just tickles him that you were like, stop talking. People just kept sending comments.
I was just going to read it as soon. The trick is once he starts acknowledging the next the next entry, then you throw up the next one right after.
Yeah.
You don't give him time to retort or change. You're just like, let him say his speech, and then boom, there's the next line right up there.
Yeah, if he ever gets a producer, that's going to be a whole different show.
We finally seen Cookie, or at least we saw a picture of Cookie. Now I was just like, oh yeah, when Cookie comes home, I can't wait. She's probably going to keep him in check.
She's going to whip him into shape. So Carl says, how is everyone? We're tired, but we're here.
Yeah.
Doing wonderful.
Yeah, John's drinking, so he's he's on his way. I'm just regular soda here, but who knows later on. Might take more of those pain pills I had earlier in the week and just pass out. I don't know.
Bring some here.
Okay, so Christian, you did the right thing grabbing these celebrities while they are bored at home. It's good for you and them.
I hate to say this, but COVID was actually good for the show. Well, the interviews that we had for the people that were out of work, they're just impossible. Nothing against them, but their life depends on finding the next job that they find.
Yeah.
So of course somebody like me is just going to be like, okay, we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you. As soon as the lockdown hit, Christian, what are you doing next week? Because they got to get attention, and they still got to get their name out there and make sure that everybody knows that they're still. Yeah. Some of them had, some of them had charities. Some of them had. I mean, it was just one celebrity after another. It was Sylvester McCoy, Paul McGann, Annette Badland, Nick Briggs. I mean, everybody was coming up on their mother, and just like I was like, wow, we've changed course. And not only that, but I think the Facebook page meteorically grew to like 20,000 people plus. That's awesome. We were like sitting at 30,000, and then that 1 year, everybody started showing up. And thanks to Geek Insider, Meredith and her team, who provide our StreamYard service, we started moving from being an audio show to a video show. Mm-hmm. So that changed the parameters of everything. So here we are now. Yeah,
I was going to say, I would imagine that would change it a lot, because a lot of people like to see who's talking as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would bet that made a lot of.
Well, I've told people I have a face for podcast and a body for radio. So I just am like, no, I don't want people seeing my mug up there. Why? It's just like, yeah, but apparently they want to see it. So I'm like,
well, I figured, if you have to worry about what you look like or what you sound like, I'm in the wrong business. Actually, it's why I write books, because it doesn't matter either way.
Hello, so Michaela.
Says hello.
Yeah.
Let's see. No mercy for you.
Oh, bring it.
He's like,
bring it, sister. She's still bitter that I'm triple her ratings. But anyway.
So Rick Bradley says, how do you contact the stars from Doctor Who? Do you message them on social media, or have they reached out to you as well?
It's a mixture. A lot of the people that I've known over the years. Some of them were Facebook friends, or still are. And some of them I went through IMDb. It's just a potluck of how I've gone through it. Some people knew somebody and knew how to connect me to somebody, and but like Simon Fisher Becker, who was the first person who came on the show. He plays Dorian Moldagal, a big blue guy. Oh yeah, and he's actually part of the Traveling TARDIS now. He's actually part of the team.
He's a friend of mine as well.
Yeah, I just hooked him up on Facebook, and I just shot a message to him and said, Simon, you want to be on the show? Next thing you know, he's on the show. Yeah, and now he's part of the team.
He is so fun. He is so fun. Yeah. That's cool.
But the Rick, it's a mixture. Tell you the truth. I mean, some of them I know, some of them I go into IMDb. Some of them go to their agent. Some of them I met over at conventions and said, "You want to do the show?" So it's mixed nuts. There doesn't seem to be a proper way. And I was taken aback because William Shatner, somebody asked him on his Twitter, William Shatner, he goes, "I'm a legit podcaster. I would love to interview you." And he retorted, which kind of took me aback, but he goes like, "Legitimate people don't ask people on Twitter." I'm just like, well, that
Okay.
yeah, I was like, well, surprise me. I got a few people off of Twitter. So
yeah, I mean,
I understand where he's coming from, but just like, okay, podcasters like us go on Twitter and your social media and just kind of like, okay, who's your agent? Where can I reach you?
Yeah.
So,
there's always those kind. We've got some great celebrity friends that they're just like, yeah, just send me a message,
Yeah.
They're not that I guess high in the instep that they can't handle a private message instead of going through their agent. But whatever.
Some people actually go direct. I mean, it like I said, it's mixed nuts. Some people, the one person that I went through, I think it was Bruce Boxleitner for another show. I went through his wife. I met his wife at one of the conventions. She's his agent, and I just talked it out, and I brought him on another show that I was on, and
cool.
Got him on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
whatever works.
You don't know till you ask, right?
Exactly. That was if you saw the Dastardly Dingo episode, the imposter syndrome,
mm-hmm.
which is one thing that I mentioned is to move past the imposter syndrome is every answer to your question will be no until you ask.
Exactly. Yeah.
Until you pop that question, it will always be a no. So you never know. And it does not hurt. And you were at zero anyway. So if I walk up to David Tennant and say, "David Tennant, I want you on my show," and he says no, then I didn't lose anything.
No.
And I think a lot of people out there have that syndrome where it's like, oh, he's popular. He is. But it got a little easier after Simon when I got him on the show, because at that point it was like, well, how did I get Simon on this show? He's been on Doctor Who. He doesn't need me. He's in England. I mean, he's up there. I kind of see those people up there, but once you start imagining them being as at your level, they're human. They bleed red blood. There's nothing different. They just happen to be maybe more in demand, and their life's work is based upon when that next phone call from their agent is going to be, and hopefully it does very well for them.
Exactly. Carl says, "John, I put some tequila in my Sprite, so I'm doing okay too." So a bunch of drunks on this show before it's all said and done.
Did you put the lime in the coconut and drink it all up, sir?
All up. My ex-wife is sharing her Amazon Prime, so I've restarted the show with the 9th Doctor. I will get caught up.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's a good place to start.
It is.
And if you're people often the big one, I think the top 5 questions asked me is just that, Christian, I haven't seen the new series. Where do I start? And I said, go start from Eccleston, because that's where I started and started picking up. Yeah. And you have to muddle through the first 2 episodes because they can be kind of corny at times.
It's kind of Doctor Who too.
Yeah, that's the appeal. That's the chicness of
There's
Doctor Who.
There's a little corny in every episode.
Yeah,
great.
It's sci-fi that doesn't take itself so seriously. So but when it does, it's awesome.
Yeah. There's some really deep lessons in some of those episodes.
Yes.
And speaking of the 9th, I took the screenshot from when we were all on your show talking about the 9th Doctor. And that was the most fun I've had in a long time. So I appreciate you inviting me on for that. This Whovian was thrilled, I tell you what.
Yes, she was.
Mr. Nick Tockard was very thrilled too.
What was that?
Mr. Nick Tockard was very thrilled too.
Oh yeah, and he had some great points.
He's very passionate. You could tell.
Oh yes,
he's very passionate.
He's very excitable. Let's see. Michaela says, "Good to have friends."
Yes. Oh yes, with benefits.
With benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard me. Shrink up.
So yeah, Carlene says hi. Carl says ran over to Donna to pull her off that other show. That's probably still going.
I read that wrong. I read that completely wrong. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Run. Okay.
I thought you said I ran her over and pulled her off. I'm like, what?
I ran her over.
The things that you see, the things that you see when you read too fast, and the things you want to see after you read too fast.
Yeah, and the things that your mind fills in because of the way your mind works.
Yeah.
Michaela, that seems like a dick move. What are we about? Let's see. Shatner's a bit of an ass.
Well, I think that's his appeal too, as well. I think he's reached that age. I mean, he's climbing into the 9s now. He's climbing into almost 90 now, and just like I don't. He's at that age of I don't give a rat's.
He's earned the right to be an ass.
Yeah, I think he has too much fun on his Twitter page.
Oh my God.
He's like, what's wrong with you? Like raising kids on Twitter.
Yeah.
He said
Twitter
something.
Page is interesting.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure. Melissa is a sweet thing.
Oh my.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, we were talking about friends with benefits, so I just don't know. We just pulled up some random girl named Melissa.
So, yeah. So okay, if David Tennant told you no, he still talked to you. LOL.
Exactly. There you go. Right.
I would be like, David Tennant just told me off.
I knew. It's not that I knew he didn't care anything. I wanted to geek out with him, and he has his show. It's called David Tennant Had a Podcast, and I found him by himself at his booth, and I ran up to him and I just said, "Hey, David, I just want to show you something. We're both on iHeart Radio," and I showed him my iHeart thing, and he just smiled at me. It was
That's
just like,
awesome.
I don't care. I geeked out. I don't care what you think. We're both on iHeart.
Yeah. I do this same thing. I had a panel with Ruth Connell we were watching from Supernatural.
Yeah.
And I asked a question, and it was kind of from a writer's perspective. I'd asked the question, and she was giving out little like stuff she'd gotten from her hotel rooms as gifts for people that ask questions. So I got a bottle of conditioner about this big that she gave me. And when I was up there with getting the conditioner, I was like, I'm a writer, so I love the way you answered that question. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, shut up and get back to your seat. Yeah. So, but I didn't care.
I got this from my hotel. I wanted to get you a gift.
Yeah, but I was totally geeking out. Of course, I'm sitting there and go, I've got Ruth Connell's
conditioner. It's a combination of shampoo conditioner because they're too damn cheap to buy two different bottles. I'll use this to my heart's intent.
That other show that she wasn't really listening to. We're gonna have to give Brian crap about this for sure.
Well, absolutely, give Brian.
Melissa is Box Leitner's wife.
No, not anymore. They broke it off a while ago, Carl.
Oh,
they're talking about Melissa Gilbert. No, just. I'll take a look over there. He just recently got married. I think he was at the time fiance. Bruce Box Leitner. You talk amongst yourselves there, because that's where we're
going. I also want to show your logo for the show because it's just really dang cool. I love it. I don't know who designed it for you, if you did it, but it's awesome.
No, I actually one of the first big purchases was that.
I
said it, I don't want to do it. I want it professionally done, and I found this. Oh God, this was on Instagram for like $30.
Wow.
Well, yeah, it was. They were They had all these logos they were doing. They were similar to this. They were kind of like a rock and roll with that neon thing on it. I said, "Can you do that with the Traveling TARDIS?" And I gave them the schematics. I said, "I want at least a microphone. I want the TARDIS. Go." And that's what they came up with. And I was like, yes. I'm like, it's something I could put on a t-shirt. It's something that's sitting right behind me too.
Yeah.
Yes.
To answer your question, no, Verena King Boxleitner. They got married in 2016. I remember that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Well,
so happy marriage to them.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that when I used to talk to them, he was on B6.
Didn't realize that when I used to talk to him, he was on B6. Oh, Babylon 5, you mean? B6?
Yeah, I'm not
Bravo
sure.
Company? That must have been this book. Moving on.
Clarify that, yeah.
Did he put Melissa back out on the prairie? I'm sorry.
How far can I go down low on this show? Because this is going to go bad right now.
Out to pasture.
At this
Got
point,
it.
wherever you want to wander off.
Didn't they blow up Little House? Isn't that how it ended? I think they did. I think they did blow up Little House or something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember.
Home on the range.
On the range. Okay. So
That show would never be filmed today.
Yeah.
Ever.
Carl says, when I met Colin Baker, I quoted something that he'd said in a magazine, and he stopped the line, stood up, and shook my hand, then autographed my magazine. It was a great moment.
All the classic Who doctors. I'm not downing any of the doctors because I haven't. And Peter Capaldi. One of the things I loved about Peter Capaldi, and I said I'll say this straight up in any interview or anything like that. He's a fan of the fans. He really loves the fans. I wish he had the picture of. See if I can find it here. Maybe I can do it. I brought him the Traveling TARDIS. It's one of the best pictures of him with the people with the TARDIS on him. And let me find out. Let's see if I can find him. Yep. Okay. So, I took a picture of Peter. Actually, it was done professionally. I handed him the TARDIS and walked away. Now, Peter looked at me just like, "What do you want me to do with it?" And I said, "Whatever you want. Do what you do." So, surely enough, this is one of the more popular pictures of the Traveling TARDIS.
Yes, I love that photo.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got the angry eyes in there.
He's got the angry eyes. He's got the TARDIS in hand and everything. But the story after that is what's just as phenomenal as that picture itself out there. As soon as I walked away, I grabbed the TARDIS and walked away. He goes, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm done. I'm getting my picture. I'm going to go ahead and go." No. Grabs me, pulls me back in, and demands that the people at the photos take another picture because I wasn't in that one.
Oh,
So I have a
awesome.
second picture with him. I got a 2-for-1 thanks to Peter Capaldi. The other one I don't post. It's sitting in a picture outside in the living room. But I'm just like because I love that one the best. That was that was the Ood picture.
Yes.
And somebody I think I'll find it, but somebody actually took that picture and made a painting of it.
Oh wow.
I think I'll try to find it, but you can ask your questions or start posting. I'll see if I can find it. But I was like flabbergasted. Not only that, and it's like the only thing I didn't get any credit for it. But in fairness, I was going like, whoever made that picture, and I'll try to see if I can find it. Whoever made that picture, how do you know I wouldn't have bought it?
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't even know where. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Blow it up and give me a big.
Here it is. It was on somebody's profile pic, but they put in some stuff in it. But you can tell that's him with that picture. They just took the TARDIS.
Oh yeah.
And moved it up, but they put in the Sonic and his picture off to the side. I'm trying to see if I can find the original,
That's really
but
cool.
yeah, but somebody made a painting and I can't find it. It's online, and like, you know what? You could give me a little credit, but plus I would have bought the picture if I knew who made it.
No kidding. Yeah.
But knowing that the Traveling TARDIS has actually influenced people in that regard, that's where I wanted to go with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got to get our picture taken with Billy Piper.
Yeah.
Rose.
So yeah.
Sweet girl.
Yeah, she was. I mean, like it was like, you know how it is. They shove you in there and take a picture, and they shove you back.
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
But
cattle.
But it was just that's one of our. We've got it framed. That's one of our our favorite photos too.
Yeah, I ain't washed that arm since. You know,
that arm's getting smelly after a couple of years.
It kills me that the next series she did was Diary of a Call Girl.
Yes.
It's like I'm now watching her and just, oh my God, it's Rose.
And Penny Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful, she was awesome in it. Everybody was
awesome in that, but at the same, because I didn't see
even
the
a bigger
one.
fan now.
Yeah. Who isn't?
Going, that's not Rose. Yeah, it kind of.
That's Rose.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Rose.
Rose.
After a while, you just accept they've all grown up like Miley Cyrus.
Yep. Oh,
She basically went out there with a crowbar and beat the hell out of Hannah Montana. She bled to death. I'm Miley Cyrus. I'm Miley Cyrus. I'm Miley Cyrus.
Very, very different. Yes.
Where are we right now? It pays. Go ahead.
It pays to plan what you're going to say before you meet them. That's true. That is true.
No, it doesn't. Okay, Carl, what usually happens? Hi, Mr. Tennant. My name is Christian Basel. I'm a big fan of yours. Hi, Mr. Tennant. My name is Christian Basel. I'm a big fan of yours. Hi, Mr. Tennant. My name is Christian Basel, and I am a big fan of yours. As soon as you get up there, okay, walk off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I just spit all over you?
That
Did he
would
say
be
a vowel in that whole conversation?
Hi, Mr. Basel. I'm Christian Tennant, and I'm fans big of yours.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Completely backwards. Yeah. Okay, so she did mean B5. That was a typo.
B5, yep. That's right. Just want to make sure they didn't have a spin-off series that I wasn't aware
And
of.
then you missed, yeah.
Because I need to watch that.
Oh, and Eric wants to know if that's your Chippendale bow tie.
Oh, yeah.
Bow ties are cool.
Yes.
There we go.
Tomorrow, that's all he's wearing for the next week's show. That's all he's going to be wearing.
Just the bow tie.
Oh, wait. Since we're sharing shirts, I don't have my Traveling TARDIS shirt on, but I wanted to show you that shirt.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I don't have nobody sent me a traveling TARDIS, so I had to,
Get a picture with that
knock
one.
one of my
instead.
own off. Whatever Walmart.
Well, I decided to close my
there.
store now that I'm getting a new store. So
Oh, that's right. You guys go to his website. Let me pull up.
I don't have a store yet, so don't. You can put money in the tip jar.
Yeah, we're gonna tip jar. Well, and I also saw you have you have cups.
Oh no! We had to close the store down. We're going to get a new store.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting a new store eventually, but
go check this website out. Go look at the shows. Look at
the under construction banner.
look at the under construction banner. Go check out the tip jar for sure. And then, do you have like a newsletter?
I'll spare you. There you go. It's in private chat.
Okay.
You can paste and copy that in there.
Yeah. Let me get to it here. There we go. All right. Yeah, let me just grab that.
And for those of you who really need help on this, it's thelegendofthetravelingdartist.com.
So yeah, I will go ahead and put that in the comments here, so that it's in there.
And I'll type this out because for whatever reason YouTube bonks it every once in a while.
Oh, good, it's in there twice. So
hey.
you shouldn't miss it because it posted twice. Let's see.
It happens.
Let's see. Michaela said there's a Christian Basel store. Christian
Yes. Get your own me. He comes with Kung Fu grip. Action all the way, baby.
Karate chop action.
There you go.
Rib
There you go. Put in the YouTube.
Ribbed for your.
There's a Christian Basel store. Could you imagine that?
Oh god.
It's like somebody comes out. I want to cosplay you, Christian. Then Leatherface shows up, and I'm like, no.
Like, this is not what I was thinking.
I want to cosplay Brian K. Morris. I did one time. I just didn't have the fez. I'll be sitting at a book. Looking like this, going. Is anybody going to buy anything? That's the question here. I want to say hello to everybody, but you just keep walking by me.
Excuse me, do you have the hiccups?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Well, shall we come over here and let me help you out there?
Brian should be here.
Sir, are you an author? Yes. How can I help you? I just need to know where the closest bathroom is. Screw you, hippie. Down the street. Down the row.
Teresa Dunn says good evening. Oh, hi, Teresa.
There you go, Teresa. How you doing? Congratulations on your podcast. Everybody's getting a podcast. Not fair. Get off my lawn, everybody. Stop saying.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. It's just people coming up to me going, Christian, I got a new podcast. Any advice? Don't.
Don't.
Get off my lawn.
Okay. out of my area.
Here first. I was joking with Brian. For those of you who don't know, Brian K. Morris runs the Rising, is one of the Rising Tide publications. He also does Clever Title Pending and the Nevermind The Furthermore. And I was just like saying that there was a joke, and I think he actually said it on the show that I mentioned. It's like it's like a family reunion that happens every other hour.
Yeah.
I wonder what Carl is doing today. Great. Tuesday at 2:00, I can join him and ask him.
And find out. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's just, as much as I would love to support everybody and watch them, I have to just put them on play later when I'm doing stuff because I don't have time to watch all of them. I'd never get another book written.
There's some things that I try to listen to it, but then I will type a comment in. And when I'm doing something like working on the YouTube channel or working on the podcast or anything like that, somebody says something that I need to see. So it's like,
oh, now I have to go look.
Now I got to go look.
Yeah.
I'm reading Christian's comment. Or however he talks.
That's very scary. I'm a Christian.
They're talking about my shop.
You being for sale, I guess.
I'm gonna. Well, okay, Michaela, if you're still out there, what do you think is in my store? I want to know.
What does Christian personally sell?
Do I have that shower curtain rod in the back for those those VHSs we don't talk about in the back of the knockoff Blockbuster store?
The adult section of the Christian store.
We don't call it the adult.
It's the special section.
The special section, yes.
Teresa,
this is where we learn to massage with oils.
And then we call everything a massager.
Yes. Where everybody goes back there thinking it's the bathroom.
Oh, no. Yeah,
where's your bathroom? It's not the red curtain, that's for sure.
They walk in, turn around, walk right back out.
Exactly.
Carl says, what is Carl doing? Watching all these darn shows.
That's right. You know what's scary? I don't even watch TV anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know why I'm paying for cable. It's just like, who's got a podcast?
Yeah, who needs TV?
Who I need to talk to?
We've got streaming, and that's it because that way we can watch stuff when we actually have time. Otherwise, there's no point in having cable.
Yeah, exactly. This Friday I might be going live on my channel because I haven't had time to record a show. You're popular. You're selling books. Shut up.
Yeah,
we love you. We love you.
So for future shows, we need to tag Christian and Everett.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm thinking Christian's like, I don't even.
No. Everybody tags me in their show. It's like Christian and 48 others are tagged on this episode that's coming up that he needs to watch.
Yeah, like, I'm trying. Trying to keep up. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Why don't we pick another one here while we're waiting?
Favorite doctor.
So who is your favorite doctor?
Tom. Always
Tom.
be. He was my first.
Yeah.
Never forget your first.
Yep.
All these others are imitators and whatever.
And who is your favorite villain?
Michael Grade.
Michael Grade? So
yeah, he's the guy that took Doctor Who off the air in 1989.
Oh, okay.
Piss off.
I know that
Piss
name.
off, Michael Grade.
Yeah.
You're a dork. No, I'm just kidding. There's this thing that I speak about with Tom Baker because I feel bad for the kids who grow up Doctor Who that are just not knowing about Classic Who. Mm-hmm. But I feel for them because there's this running joke that I would see on the internet where a kid would come out and say, Matt Smith is my favorite third Doctor. I'm just like, yeah, exactly. You put that face on, but I remember when I grew up, you saw Doctor Who on PBS, right? Yeah. Like everybody else. We saw Doctor Who on PBS.
Yep.
What was your experience watching it?
Oh, I mean, I started watching young, but I remember my parents turning the TV on, telling me if I didn't want to miss it to get my butt in there because that was it. There was no rewatching it later. And my mom making popcorn and me sitting on the floor and watching. And And of course, every moment was absolutely mesmerizing for me.
I'm asking this question, and I think let me try to get to the focus of what I was trying with the question. When I first saw Doctor Who, thanks to my PBS, that's all I knew was Tom Baker. I knew it started at Robot. He goes to Legopolis, falls off the tower, turns blonde after that white thing shimmers on him, and it starts all over. I thought that was Doctor Who. I had no idea what the hell that meant, but I knew that. And then my PBS had some kind of drive where I guess somebody just spent a little bit more, bought that whole VHS tape thing series of All Creatures Great and Smelly. And all of a sudden, they said, oh, okay, we're going to have a special called The Five Doctors. I've only known Tom Baker. Who the hell else is in this role?
Yeah.
Well, apparently it takes over when the blonde guy who took over turns out to be a doctor. And then there are these three other guys that were doctors. Now, in all fairness, in this world of the internet today, anybody could have looked that up. But I was just like, I didn't know. That's all it is. PBS had me locked into Tom Baker. That's all I knew. I didn't care about Transformers or G.I. Joe or, Marvel. Or I cared about this guy who had curly hair, really cool fixed teeth, a scarf, and was the most wittiest person in the room who didn't have to use a gun, and just the comedy of what he brought to that role. Yeah. So
an awesome metal dog.
And an awesome metal dog and hot companions. But we don't talk.
Yeah.
I was like, Sarah Jane Smith was my big sister until Leela came in. Then I started really liking girls for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. I think when I started watching Doctor Who, I was in the series enough that I was seeing Tom Baker regularly for quite a while. And then, here comes the blonde guy, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you
But they didn't even show the blonde guy. I mean, there was nothing after that. He turned blonde and woke up, and that was it. I was like, okay, I guess that's a series. I'll never know why I ended it that way, but okay, I guess that's how it ends.
Yeah. And I think I know at some point we picked up watching again with Colin Baker, but it was just like, they're from, you're like, what? What's happening? Let's see. Okay, was it Peter Davison after Tom?
Yeah, it was Peter Davison after Tom, and I was like Rose Tyler in that one episode of in that one holiday the Children in Need special, where she turns to the 10th Doctor, goes, "Can you change back?" I'm sitting here going like, okay, maybe in the second episode he goes back to Tom. I don't know. I was like, oh, this is the new guy.
Yeah, and
he's wearing broth on his shirt.
Yeah. Why is there celery?
He's wearing celery.
Yeah.
Who does it?
I think all of us probably experienced that first time where we realized, wait a minute, there's a new guy. And then we started that whole somewhat exciting yet depressing cycle of new doctor, new companions, new doctor, new companions.
And I was kind of joking a bit there, but do you ever watch the White House press briefings by any chance? I know I hate politics and stuff like that. Yeah, well, somebody came up to me and said, "Did you see the press secretary at the White House?" I'm like, what are you talking about? She's wearing celery on her damn lapel.
That's hilarious.
Oh
my gosh.
Lord.
Was that like off?
I guess I think it was a St. Patty's Day thing.
Okay.
And it's a tree or something like that. But I'm just like, she's wearing celery on her lapel.
Switch it up and use some broccoli or something.
Exactly. Here, I got some broccoli, which I actually did. I did 1 year. Was trying to cosplay. Was trying to make a Doctor Who costume, and I literally took a safety pin. Celery, and the celery kept on going in a weird, like, what the hell does he do? He just takes it and just flaps it. It stays. I'm just like, this thing falls off. It's dying. It's turning brown.
Drooping.
Yeah, and he eats it. I'm like, I ain't touching that thing.
You're like, no.
It's drooping. It's gonna die in my shirt.
Next time, try like some asparagus, maybe.
Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna really stink to high hell.
Yeah.
Russell Sprout.
That's right. I smell like a Doctor Who monster.
Mung beans.
Mung beans. There you go. She says, I'm only selling books in person, not online, not so much. So maybe it's the boobs.
It's the boobs.
The boobs.
Taser
wear cauliflower to keep people at bay. They tell them, I look thinner at a distance, so just keep going.
I don't know. I don't know who came with this idea, but people are using cauliflower in the most ridiculous ways. It's now pizza dough. It's now it's the new rice. It's the new potatoes. No. Yeah. Get it out. It's looking at my potatoes and making it feel bad about itself. Get it out of my frozen section. And yes, I did steal that from Lewis Black.
But as someone who's not supposed to eat gluten, I am. Unfortunately, yeah.
Did you want to eat potatoes? I'm here.
Yeah. Why?
I taste nothing like them.
No, he's right.
You got to doctor them up really good to be good.
Right.
But
you want disappointment. It's coming.
That's a cauliflower pizza right there. Disappointment.
It's like non-dairy ice cream. What's the point?
Yeah.
It's just like, well, have you ever tried ice cream? He goes, yeah, it tastes nothing like it. Trust me.
Close.
Nothing like it. Do you have a favorite episode?
Oh my god! That now that the new series has been here, I would like to say The Day of the Doctor, just because that was what do they call it? Fan. What's that term where they impress the fans? It's fan bait, fan. Oh my god! Somebody help me out with that.
Yeah. It's not clicking in my brain.
I just like that there was an episode with all the doctors there, even though it was kind of weird.
I actually just watched that one yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Before then, my favorite episode will be an episode they would never film today. They would never put on today. It's probably got so many labels on it and possibly considered the most racist episode ever. The Talons of Wang Chiang.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I'm Filipino, I'm Asian, and I get the jokes. But there was one really bad joke in there. I don't even know if I can say it on your show.
Oh, please.
Okay.
He's dying. He wants to know.
Do you remember the scene where the doctor is supposed to be going into I think it's called the cupboard of death or something like that. It's the one where they're supposed to run the swords into the cupboard.
Yeah.
Okay. He goes into the cupboard. The doctor is chosen as a person to go in the cupboard. I can't remember what they call, like, to help out with the thing. And he gets into the cupboard, and then they turn the cupboard around, and then you watch the doctor walk out, leaving the cupboard. He just exits the cupboard. He's like, I'm not going to deal with this. And everybody's laughing. But the guy who's supposed to be playing the Asian, he goes, the bird has flown. One of us is, and says the color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's in a Doctor Who episode. I'm just like, okay.
All right then. Yeah.
Not to mention, was it Jago and Lightfoot are having that Eliza Doolittle moment with Leela. So I mean, that's a little bit on the feminism side of things. So I mean, it's just the most un-PC episode, and it's one of my favorite episodes because I love Robert Holmes. Robert Holmes is one of my favorites, right next to Douglas Adams and Rob Sherman, as far as the writers are concerned. I'm just like, oh God. There's supposed to be an audio coming out over here. I mean, how many times has Shada have made an appearance that with the only episode of Doctor Who that was canceled because of the writer's strike and has had so many appearances, I think like 3 attempts. The 8th Doctor, Tom Baker came out with the unfinished one where he actually introduces and hosts a show to where it shows how the story should have ran had they had filmed it. And I think Tom Baker finally got back with Layla Ward and they did Shada as it was supposed to be written by Douglas Adams. Mm-hmm. But, fan pandering. No, Carl, you're on the right track. I know what you're talking about, but it's not fan pandering.
You said fan service.
Fan service. Thank you, Rick. It's fan service. Yes, fan service. You're serving the fans. And it's just like...
well, I tell you what, I geeked out every time. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, it's 10 also with 11. Yay. And then it was like the War Doctor. And then at the very end, when they bring in Tom Baker, and I'm just like totally flipping out. The first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, it's my doctor."
I saw with the bar with WHOvians, and the problem is I could not hear that dialogue because they're still geeking out about him walking in. I think you're right. I'm like,
you just might.
What? You just, I think you might. And then all the fans were exploding, just watching, and just everybody was shushing each other so we could actually hear the damn dialogue.
Yeah, like, okay, guys, this is exciting, but shut the hell up so we can hear it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, there's some good stuff in there, please. I'll go home and watch it again.
Carl says, I'll stick with the pandering comment.
You are a pander, Carl. Let's just get this out of the way. You're a big pandering panda.
Big panda.
You're bald too. Can't help it.
You're bald panda.
Bald panda.
Oh,
balding in all the wrong places.
So we were talking about Doctor Who villains.
Yeah.
You have a villain that's on this show that's your favorite.
Oh.
Mine is probably Missy. I love all of them for their own reasons, but I love Missy. She just was so much fun.
I guess you have to catch them in the moment. I mean, Michelle Gomez really pulled it off. I mean, she really
nailed it.
But you know what? I am so cynical that I like the Eric Roberts version. He's coming on Big Finish now.
Mm-hmm.
As his master, where everybody criticizes him. Eric Roberts is the master. It's like how bad, and it's like he wasn't so bad. It was just like, and I think he understood the character and everything. It was just like Eric Roberts. It's like Shaquille O'Neal is Steel. I mean, like, it's just like, really? You went that route, huh?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's the thing now. So I do love Michelle Gomez's interpretation of Missy. I think even if she didn't know the character, if she never said, you could tell that she not only ran with that character, she made it her own.
Yeah. And she really also nailed the insanity, I think.
She had her own thing. You could tell that she was adding to it. She wasn't not just pulling it all her way, but she was adding to it. So I could see all of them, the Delgado, the Anthony Ainley, the extra crispy masters. I saw them all in there.
Yeah.
I saw all the masters. Now, I don't know. I don't want to be a cop-out, but it's just like in the moment, like the scene between 9 and the Dalek in the Dalek episode, with written by Rob Sherman, who's one of my favorite writers. He writes for Big Finish. If you want a recommendation on Big Finish, The Holy Terror, I love. That was my gateway drug into Big Finish. There's one he wrote called Scherzo. But the moment that Dalek between 9 and Dalek, I really was like, okay, the Daleks are just overdone. But that one scene between Eccleston and that Dalek was really wow. Really, they were added.
That one. It's not.
He's trapped in there. He thinks the Daleks are all dead.
Oh,
it's the episode called Dalek.
Dalek chained up.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And the doctor starts freaking out because he thinks the Dalek's going to exterminate him for good. He's locked in the room. He can't get out. And then all of a sudden his weapon's not working. And then all of a sudden you see the doctor go from, oops, I'm going to die to, oh, this is happening.
Hunting the crap out of you.
Yeah, exactly. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell he was on that one. He'd been waiting who knows how long.
Right. If you're going to be the last Dalek with no weapon, you're useless. I mean, he was just, and you could tell Chris Eccleston was having some fun with that scene.
Yeah.
He was really pushing it out there. And but I think it also included the writing of Sherman and I forgot who directed. But just a combination of everything that was going on in there, in that room. Yeah. Those two were probably one of the best scenes that I think in Doctor Who, because you can tell from that scene how the Time War has worked on him.
Yeah, he's tired.
Exactly.
He's been through enough. He's done. That was something that we were watching Day of the Doctor yesterday. Mm-hmm. I've been introducing it to my granddaughters, and they're learning as we go here. And I was showing her, I was like, okay, so here's four doctors in this one, and she's like, 4? I'm like, yeah, because she's just getting used to the whole.
Right. And then we have to explain War Doctor, who's not a number.
Yeah. And she's like, well, who's the old guy? So I'm, I explained this one's full of regret and this one, wants to forget everything. And
right.
Hasn't done it yet,
And I people still give Moffat grief a bit on the Day of the Doctor, but I think he did the best in the situation that he had. Mm-hmm. Because I think all the fan service would have been that all the doctors would have been in there that were living to be part of that. I think that's why I mean, for crying out loud, what was it? Peter Davison wrote, and what was it? The 5-Doctor reboot or 5-Doctor-ish or something like that, where the running gag is that the Sylvester McCoy, Colin Baker, Peter Davison, and Paul McGann were not in the 50th anniversary, so they made this episode that kind of spoofed it. And surely enough, I won't give a spoiler to it, but they do end up in the show somehow.
Yeah. Well, and because like the very end, you get a nice little photo. I love at the end there, which I'm always like, yay! This is another geeky moment of mine. Yeah. But
and 13 was in it too, and Peter Capaldi showed up with his eyes.
I love that they're like 13, and then you get the angry eyes, and then they're like 13, and I was like, oh yeah, that's when they first gave you that first hint of who
Peter Capaldi was, right? Yeah. Angry eyes.
And I remember that when he regenerated, and he's looking at himself, and he's like, why are my eyes so angry?
Right. I can open up bottles with these things.
Yeah, he had some great lines. That way.
He does.
Michaela J said, "You all are so impressive. I'm lucky if I remember the characters' lines, let alone their real names."
I'm gonna grab her and her husband, and if I ever make my way up there, I'm just gonna have a DVD set where I'm gonna strap them down with duct tape from Home Depot.
From that aisle.
From that aisle, yeah. And we're gonna binge watch until we're dead in the face. So
Carl says, sorry, I gotta run to yet another.
There is no other show. Come on, Carl. Whatever. Who else is doing it?
Yeah. Catch the rest later. Great show. Thank you, Carl. Thanks for showing up.
Thanks, brother.
Okay, so what else do we got on our let's see. I know this answered this question. Advice for someone wanting to start podcasting is just no. Just no.
If you're gonna start, don't know why. There are a couple things that you need to focus on. One of which is why the hell are you doing it?
Yeah.
That which is the serious. As much as the jokey question, that is the serious question. Why are you doing this? Yeah. What is your goal? Where are you obtaining to? Where do you see yourself? If you can answer that question, that's fine. One of the other harder questions that I ask every time that I put out a new episode, what separates me from the other guy?
Yeah.
Because there's a billion Doctor Who podcasts. Everybody's got their own opinion. So what separates me? And that's something I can answer in my head that I wanted to be different because, and I'm not downing the other podcasts at all.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of the podcasts right now, they're doing reviews of Classic Who. And I said, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the one that says, okay, well, there's no show going. So that's why we brought in other things. Like right now, this whole month is games, Maze Theory, Worlds Apart. All, we're doing gaming now. I think next week we're going to wrap up our unpacking the cards and showing that. And then we're going to actually play the Worlds Apart game live.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have some fun. Maze Theory premieres tomorrow. I can't wait until I play that app. I might do it online. We'll see what happens. But I want to explore things. We were actually the first year that we started, I asked myself questions that I did not see, not only in the other shows, but there were questions that I asked myself that I wanted to have answered. Like one of the episodes, does the Doctor have a soul? Does the Doctor believe in ghosts? Mm-hmm. Are there real Time Lords out there? Could we actually see the Time Lords one day by accident or by choice? And I actually had people for the Ghost one. We had people who in the paranormal. For the Time Lords, we had people who dabbled in science and science fiction, but also there were a couple of issues that we hit upon the first year, like bullying in the geekdom. It doesn't even matter where you are; it's all over the flipping place.
Yeah.
And the question was, what got us here?
Yeah.
You know, one of the hard, and this is not against anything; it's just the reality of the situation. But the bring in of Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall has really put a divide out there. But why is the divide? Is that because there's legitimate cases? There's people who just don't like a female doctor, you know. One of the questions I also had is, who defines a WHOvian?
Yeah, exactly.
What is a WHOvian?
Yeah.
And meaning that, can I spoilers, can I say I've read one Doctor Who book and say I'm a WHOvian? That's my favorite book. I don't care about the TV show. I don't care about the audios. I don't care about the comic books. I read a book. I loved it. It's my favorite book of all time, and I'm a WHOvian. Yeah. Can I say I'm a WHOvian? Yeah. Is that permissible? And I think of a spoiler alert, but I think it to me, a WHOvian is somebody who likes any aspect of Doctor Who and it doesn't matter.
I agree about that with any fandom, actually.
Is with any fandom, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a part of a group that's about The Office. That's one of my favorite sitcoms, and I blows my mind sometimes some of the stuff I see, because people are like, they'll come in and they'll ask a question because they haven't seen all the episodes, unlike us who have watched, some of us who have watched it more times than we can count. And they'll be like, ask a question, and somebody will go, well, you're just really not a fan, are you? Because you haven't seen this, or you haven't watched it 80 times like me, or whatever. And it's just like, wait a minute. No, they can still be a fan if they've only seen one episode. If they liked it, they're a fan. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, it kind of like irks me to see people put other people down simply because they're maybe just learning about something or just getting into it. It's just rude.
The thing about the podcast had started, the concept behind it are behind two women that I met at a convention, and I felt really bad about the scenario that they were in, is because I was at a con and the topic was Jodie Whittaker, and I did one of those things where raise your hand for anybody who likes the idea of Jodie Whittaker. A lot of hands went up. And I said, okay, next set of hands, people who are like on the razor's edge, is like, you're not sure. Some hands went up. And I said, is anybody not excited or, doesn't feel about that? No hands went up, of course. So at the end of the panel, when people were starting to leave, these two women came up to me and they go, we just want to tell you something. I'm like, okay. She goes, I think we can trust you with this. I'm like, okay. Okay. And the two women said, we didn't raise our hand when you said we're not happy about Jodie Whittaker, because we were afraid to. We didn't want people yelling at us and ran. I'm like, that is not cool.
Yeah, that's not
that. Yeah, that's not fandom.
Mm-mm.
I don't have to like everything about a fandom. I can like.
Yeah.
I can like one movie and not the other. I can like one episode and not another.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid there's like 800 episodes of Doctor Who. Not all of them hit a mountain park.
Yeah.
But when I was going to conventions, my goal, because I wanted to have a focus on why I was there, not just a lecture, but my goal was to convert people into WHOvians, to appreciate a show that I loved growing up as a kid, and to show them that this love for the show continues on as an adult.
Yeah.
And watching this product. And I said, well, I'm going to do this. And I think this should have been the appropriate approach, what I call the anti-Twitter approach. I said, I want you to give it a chance, because I'm on the razor's edge. I don't know. But that could be for any doctor, for any person who takes over the role. Anybody can suck. But I said, I don't want you to ever feel that if you don't like something or you question something, you should ever feel like somebody's going to come out and get you. Mm-hmm. And I said, if you need to talk to somebody, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
but I don't, I'm hoping that we never turn into this, and we have. That's the sucky part. Yeah. But needless to say, I said, listen, you watch the first 2 or 3 episodes. If you don't like what you see, I'll see you in 3 to 4 years. Because we'll have a new doctor.
Yeah.
But I can't at least say you tried.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you don't appreciate that, that doesn't make you any less of a fan or a human being. That just means you are not up with what's going on at this moment. And that's fine. That's fine.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So when I met those girls next year, they came up to me and said, yes, we do like Jodie Whittaker. We would accept it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I have my misgivings. I have my questions. I was just like, I've explained it in every review. Funny part is every time I do a review and anybody asks me about it, I was just like, oh God, I forgot. So I'll probably have a different answer every time you ask me, what did you think of this episode? And it's just like, well, you said on this episode that, I did. It's like, I usually just record them and just move on. I just like, if anybody's focusing on what I said, go ahead. And I said, if you ask me that same question, what I think about something 5 years from now, it's definitely going to evolve and change.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do I like the Timeless Children? I explained it on the show where I had the hardest time, because when I saw Orphan 55, I don't turn off Doctor Who. I never shut it off. When I saw Orphan 55, I shut it off.
Ah, okay.
Have you seen the episode? Have you seen the currency? Okay. I'm not gonna
on my Jodie Whittaker episode.
Okay. I'm not gonna. When you find out the big reveal, I turned it off and I started screaming my TV and like, what the that I would just watch, because it harkened back to a classic Who episode, which I just started screaming, oh, they did that. And not only that, it was just like, are you serious? This is the direction one. And I won't say too much. I don't know. How much do you know about the Timeless Children?
Not much. I've heard I've heard chatter, but I don't really know much about it.
Okay. I don't want to spoil it for you. Do you want me to tell you about how I felt about it, or do you want to?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean,
okay.
Spoilers don't really bother me.
Well, I don't like. I know for some people it does. It doesn't bother me one way or another. In fact, I will read up. If you
haven't seen it out there, don't watch this part.
Yeah, exactly. The hardest part that I had about the Timeless Children, this is how I explained it, because I shut it off again. And I wanted to, when we did the review, I didn't even give a number. We normally number it by TARDIS, as 1 TARDIS being bad, 10 TARDIS being good. And I told my team, I can't give this a number. I can't legitimately. I'm still like pissed.
Yeah.
And I don't want you going in there. You might like it. That's the thing. I don't want you going in there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty open-minded when I watch stuff, because I watch stuff that other people like, that sucks. And I'm like, I like it.
I think my biggest criticism is, and I don't want this to be an influence, but here's something that you might see if my thesis makes sense. But one of the issues I had about the Timeless Children was they turned Batman into Superman.
Oh. So they changed it up. Major.
You'll see. I said, what I could not understand is they did something to the character that some people accept. And some people are okay with. I'm not. I'm just like, okay, so why do we even bother? Because one of the characterizations is because the Doctor is a humanoid per se.
Yeah.
And what you just told me is they've been something else the whole time, and now the novelty of the Doctor has left my mind.
So they've taken the magic away.
Well, people, I've debated with people. People said what they've done is they've kind of expanded on the character, and I said, no, you kind of did something to the character that I don't appreciate. You made the character more than they should be. Could you imagine if Duke from G.I. Joe all of a sudden started fighting the Cobra soldiers, and all of a sudden he could fly and start beating the crap out of them like Superman?
Yeah.
like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, that's not the Duke we know.
That's not the Duke we know. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
the thing. And I said, you did something that I can't appreciate moving forward. Now, I'm not going to say anymore because I don't want to influence you. You might have a different take, and I hate doing that. Same reason why people ask me, is like, do you watch other people do reviews on episodes? I said, not before I do mine.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't want to be influenced by others.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I go on air, go live, you're getting the raw feed as far as how I felt. I could be wrong, but I want it to be honest.
How you feel. There's nothing
exactly.
wrong with that, Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Carl said Stupid O'Clock was supposed to start, but they're having it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get that figured out. Let's see, Rick Bradley. Those people can definitely chase away possible new fans. I'd rather have as many
they are now
possible to talk about our fandom, and I love it when people discover something I love. I'm the same way. I'm a big fan of 21 Pilots, and when they started out, they had like a small group of fans, and then when they started growing and gaining popularity, those small group of fans were kind of attacking the new fans. Like, you're not real fans because you weren't with them back when they were nobodies.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Joseph, I think Joe, Tyler and Josh came out and said, "Hey guys, this isn't cool. You're all fans. We don't need to be, playing.
This is not the member only club.
Yeah,
this is
we're not
this is a geekdom. Let's share it."
And then who. So
right.
Yeah, that definitely ruins the experience when what we should be doing. And I agree with this in any fandom. I don't care if you like My Little Pony. I don't care. If that's your thing, then enjoy it, and don't diss other people, the things other people enjoy. I figure there's so few things in this life we have to enjoy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
We need to embrace the things that we do like and let other people embrace the things they like.
I think it's the same level as somebody who's cosplaying who doesn't have the right fit, or doesn't have the right material, or doesn't have the right aesthetics, or doesn't have the right equipment. Or body shaming. It's just like, this is their geekdom. Let them have their fun.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to do that cosplay contest, it's a different thing. Even then, it's not, let them show their. I don't cosplay. I body shame myself out of
it. Same.
My kids
do, though, and they have so much fun with it.
Shut up, John. She's sexy. Let's put her out there. Come on. Come on. Put your bow tie on her. You know it, John. You married her. So,
I do.
Yeah.
I have a Velma costume. That's about as close as it gets.
And you know what? You have a potential OnlyFans website ready to happen, John. You're gonna have to monitor that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to pay taxes on that. So anyway, but it's that it's that mentality should never be a thing. And then just so happened it came up with a thing. And I'm sorry, I hate to speak the truth on this one. Not that I don't have to speak the truth. I have to speak the truth.
Yeah.
I call it the Twitter mentality. It's just like
it's a mom mentality.
It's a mom mentality, and just like, and if you're not going to share the fandom, don't talk about it. What's the point? Yeah, I'm like, that's why TV shows. That's why what was your show again?
I like The Office.
The other one, the one we were just talking about.
Oh,
16.
Oh no, I was talking about the band 21 Pilots.
21 Pilots.
Yeah.
Well, if you knock off enough fans, there's no going to be no talk about 21 Pilots. It's just going to be in your
a concert where there's 4 people.
Yeah, Carl. She said Velma.
Yeah.
And she and I are going to cosplay together. I'm going to be Louise, and we're going to drive off a cliff.
Yes.
I know it's not that Velma, but that's Thelma.
Michaela says, I face a lot. I'm a history nerd, and I'm a nut for cartoons like Gargoyles.
Ooh, Gargoyles.
Gargoyles was a cool one. But when I'm among people at cons, some of them don't get me. And you know what? That's okay. That's like me. I talk Supernatural as if it were my life.
Yeah, Inner Sleep.
Supernatural's right. I mean, I have my top 3 shows: Supernatural, Doctor Who, and The Office. Those are my top 3 shows. My office is full of fandom. The other bedroom is full of fandom. Those are just my favorite things. And so I talk about them all the time. And I'm one of those fans that if I'm in Walmart and I hear someone else play Carry On My Wayward Son somewhere on the other side, I'm going to be like, giving them a thumbs up from the other side of the store because that's our song.
Can you hear me?
Because my Sam and Dean masks in the bedroom.
Can you hear me? Okay, because my mic just cut off. It doesn't
Yeah,
sound
we can
okay.
hear you.
Okay,
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like I'm talking into a box now, right?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Yeah, my mic cord just shorted out for a second.
Oh, no.
So yeah.
But I'm all about every time somebody else is like, "Oh, are you?" Yeah, I see the what is that? Anti-possession symbol tattoo on people, and that will automatically. I'll be like, "Oh, let's talk supernatural." You're now like my best.
See, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh gosh. If you like ghosts and monsters, and I mean, it's a little bit of everything. It's got humor. It's got
handsome guys.
It's got nice looking guys. It's
know,
got It's got pretty women too. There's witches. There's dragons. I mean, you name it, it is in this show.
Yeah, we lost you at pretty looking guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Rick says, yeah, Rick and
Thanks,
Harry.
Rick. Yeah, apparently my camera and my microphone have been borking out lately, so it's just like apparently it's something here with the connection.
Yeah, it's all our fault, I'm sure.
We are running way late for anybody that wants to run.
You're having a great time. Shut up, John.
I wasn't sure if you were on timetable.
Yeah, we have been going an hour and 20 minutes.
That's fine.
You're free to talk as long as you want. So.
Oh, okay. We'll be here all night with the longest running episode. Let's make it a charity draw. If we can stay up until the break of dawn.
Yes. So Rick Bradley says Supernatural is a roller coaster of emotion. It is. And it's one of the few shows where the main characters can die and you're okay with it because you know they're coming back.
It's like Game of Thrones or something.
There's always something crazy happening on that show. That's for sure.
Yeah, it is. I've heard. I just like, and I know some Doctor Who alumni have ended up over there too. So just like, who the guy who's in everything? Oh my god!
Mark Shepard.
Mark Shepard. Yeah, he was in Doctor Who for one episode. I loved his character.
He was great in that, and then
he was great.
The main character in Supernatural for several seasons as Crowley, the King of Hell. So, yeah, he's that guy that's in every show.
Exactly, he's in everything.
Leverage, man. I mean, I couldn't even begin to name all the shows.
Oh my god.
Michaela, okay, guys, I love you all, but I got to get to bed.
Whatever.
Christian's like, no, you don't.
No, you don't. You're staying up with me.
We got to be awake. So do you.
This is a thing.
Let's see. Sam and Dean are lime. Jean Grey. They don't like to stay dead. They don't.
Well, I heard about the last episode, so I guess.
Yeah, if one of them dies, the other has to bring them back. So yeah, you can almost guarantee that, at one point, someone's going to die and someone's going to come back. We love Crowley. He was the best. He really was. And I love Rowena too, which that's like I was talking about Ruth Connell meeting her. She was one of my favorite characters on the show as well. So I had like a trifecta. We went to Lexington Comic-Con a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And I was excited originally because I saw that they were going to have one of the cast of The Office there. Mm-hmm. And I told John, like, this might be our only chance to get to meet them. So we were like, yeah, maybe we should get tickets. And then they announced a second cast member from The Office. By the time we'd bought our tickets, there was 4 Office cast members, 1 cast member from Supernatural, and 1 Doctor Who cast member. And I was like, this is the perfect show for me.
Yeah.
Like, was that an expensive
show? So I was about to say, is it rent or is it convention? This week.
It was definitely not a cheap show, that's for sure.
If we don't get anything from Sam's Club for at least a month,
yeah,
we can
and we donate a pint of blood every single day, I think we can get the Doctor Who signature.
Yeah, we can get a picture.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, Brandon's like,
you can't eat the picture though. Or you can try.
We did a professional photo with the whole cast of The Office. We did one with Billy Piper, and then we did one with Ruth Connell. And then the rest of my money was spent on actually getting to meet and chat with them and get autographs and selfies. So,
and she does mean the rest of our money.
Yeah.
Was. Yes.
Well, speaking of sexy in a cosplay and showing up at the last minute, here's Willow.
Hey, Willow.
Complete with pillow. Willow pillow.
She's got some
Willow pillow. I got it.
Yeah. Hi, Willow. Oh, so what other did we miss any questions? Or are we?
Yeah, you did. You missed quite a few.
Sure we did. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. We already talked. Okay, so if you could choose one mythical creature to be real, what would it be and why?
God,
we're getting into the really serious questions now.
Jeez. Can it be like something like in a movie or nature? Sure. Or does it have to be like a Greek or Roman?
No, it can be anything that doesn't actually exist.
Oh, okay.
Like I was all for dragons. I
know this is going to sound lame. Falcor. I love Falcor from the Never-Ending Story.
Yes!
Oh,
Falcor. Yeah. I'd take him out. We go flying all over the place.
Okay, somebody used to Photoshop Christian on Falcor.
Falcor, I would do Falcor all over the place. That was not the way I wanted that to come out. But
boy, that's
but we would go all over the place. I would take him. I'd take him to Disney World. We just land in the middle and just say, "Yeah, it's just two of us." He'll take the entire back row.
Yeah, ride the roller coaster in the back.
If that's the mythical creature, then I would pick Falcor. If not any,
I had not thought of that one.
If anything else, I would think I would definitely bring in K9.
Yes, K9 would be great.
The one that doesn't go into the water, even though it's the 52nd century. We haven't figured this out yet.
Yeah, you still can't get him wet. He's not waterproof.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. That would
screwed on the ball bearings. K9, is that a ball bearing or is that something else I got to clean up?
Yeah, what fell out of him?
He's lifting his leg at the tree, and I don't understand. He has no legs. So, that's not an oil strip.
Oh no. See, Willis says, I love when Christian is on other people's show. We get to mess with him just as much as he tries.
I know, everybody. I don't know why anybody doesn't mess with me on my own show. It's like, we got to be polite. You have real people on. You have celebrities. You have guests. You have people on there. Just like, as soon as somebody interviews me on another show, it's like, oh, hell is going loose right now.
No.
Exactly.
Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Arise, Basel monster, arise and fly down the mountain and over the sleeping Michaela and into the night.
Yeah, that's how restraining orders start, my friend. I don't want to.
That's exactly how they start.
We're might be worth it, but let's do it. Bring me Falcor right now. Let's have this happen at this moment.
Come on, buddy. Hurry up before I get in trouble.
Ignore the white thing in the corner of the room there, Michaela. He's just watching.
It's like he needs Harry Potter's invisibility cloak.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? As sad as it sounds, as really sad as it sounds, I have not seen the entire Harry Potter from beginning to end.
All 8
I hate that. Yeah. I mean, there's people who are religious on it, like I am with Doctor Who. I mean, they could tell me Hufflepuff and Gringotts and all these, all these names. I was just like, I'm just getting over butterbeer. I can't explain it, but they can read it. They can read the mythology to me like it was a class in their college 101.
Yeah, like they took courses on
exactly. Just like, and me going like, oh, just watch the movie. I'll tell you how it ends.
Yeah,
wake me up.
I've seen them all, but I'm not that into it. I just enjoy the movies.
I got to see the movie. I don't know if I have time to read the book. Everybody says, "Hey, it's much more fun to read the book." I'm just like, I don't have time to read books. I really don't. I really don't.
The movie took me 2 hours. The book took me 12 days.
Yeah, but I'm like, I need the audio version.
Yeah. Anymore, that's how I get a lot of my reading done is audiobooks so that I can do other things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The laundry's not going to fold itself up while I'm listening. It's
what?
So mine just sees this later on being read as Basil's monsters on the mountains of Michaela's mountain.
You just reading that?
While she was sleeping.
That's right. As I rub through the cleavage of the valley of death, I shall fear no bra strap or cup size whatsoever.
Yeah, don't even talk about the rod and the staff.
Oh, they comfort me.
There you go.
For me.
Where were we? We had the show on. Yeah.
Okay. He's already regretting this. Okay. Maybe do that one.
What weird food combination do you enjoy, or do you have one?
Yeah, we call it Golden Corral.
All of it on one plate.
So let me understand this. I can get steak, I can get seafood and lobster here for $15.99.
Yeah.
And I can eat as much as I want. What wizardry is happening?
Oh, yeah.
Even Taco Bell's going like, what? You're legit?
I show when everything goes tits up.
Pretty much.
Do you have a favorite companion?
I kind of see. Here's the weird part, and I'm a minority in this. Everybody will say their favorite companion, Sarah Jane Smith, and no downing to Liz Sladen and Sarah Jane, because she stood the test of time. Mm-hmm. What I've always liked about the companions is do the doctors work with the companion off of each other pretty well. And I don't know why, and I wish it happened earlier in the series. I mean, I have my favorites, and I'll get beaten if Katie Manning ever hears that I kind of just put Joe Grant to number 2 and 3 right now. Mm-hmm. I love the relationship between 12 and Nardole. Yeah. I did not see that coming. Yeah. And when I saw him in the Husbands of River song, I was like, oh, this is... and then they mentioned that he was coming back in the next Christmas episode. And I was like, no, don't bring back Nardole. He's awful. He's despicable. I was like, don't bring him back. I just didn't like him in the Husbands of River song. And I'm like, what are you going to bring back? His head? How's this all going to work out? So the scene where the doctor is talking to the journalist and looking at the map. You guys saw the Dr. Mysterio episode, right? That Christmas episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
The scene that they're looking at the map and 12 is going, they're taking, while he's eating sushi. I thought that was very classic. He's looking at the map and he's going like, they're trying to take over the capital cities on the planet. And Nardole walks in and goes, no, they're not. And I sit there and think about that for a second. I'm like, what just happened there? And 12 goes, yes, they are. And he goes, no, they're not. From that moment on, I was thinking they should never have extended the warranty on Clara. They should have started Nardole with 12, because I think if they had started Nardole with 12, we would probably still be talking about Capaldi today. Those two hit it off very well. Yeah. What other companion could tell the doctor, I have permission from your wife to kick your ass? Yeah, it's just exactly, like things like that, where Moffat is writing for the two of them. And I said, I relate to the relationship between two and Jamie, where there was no love interest. They weren't, they were buddies. Yeah. And it would kind of harken between Ten and Donna. I love Ten and Donna too. Yeah, there was, but it was buddy, like, even though there was
Spaceman.
Spaceman, yeah, exactly. Oi, oi, Earth Girl, yeah. Watch it, Earth Girl. And just like, back and forth. Yeah, just having some fun as buddy, and then that harkened into Nardole. Yeah. And then after that, it was just, my God, where was he? There's finally a companion that works with 12. Bill was okay. She just didn't work for me. But Clara, I think she was just stretched on too long. I think after the first season, she should have left because they written her to the point, especially with Last Christmas, which was an interesting episode and had a cute tagline. It made me hate Clara. Only because with the life that she's living with the doctor. And what happens to her almost ultimately at the end where she grows old and that one scene.
Yeah.
She gets back in even though this whole life has killed off Danny Pink.
Yeah.
And I think she should have stayed in honor of him. To say, listen, I know what this lifestyle does to somebody. I need to stop.
Yeah.
And I just ended up not liking her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I could understand why Snowman Clara wanted to get into the TARDIS. I can understand why Dalek Clara wanted to get into the TARDIS. And they were such a swell fit for Matt's companion.
Yeah.
I could not understand why Clara Prime wanted to get into the TARDIS. Because the first moment she wanted to get out. She had excuses. I got to take care of these kids and stuff like that. You can go in time and space and go back to the kids a minute after you left.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I had like the Snowman Clara, even though there was that love thing, they still hit it off too well, especially that scene where they're on the roof together and the doctor doesn't save her. He makes her figure it out.
Yeah.
There's a ladder up in the sky to pull it down. He made her figure it out as they're about to be killed. Yeah. And I thought that was so awesome. That's the kind of thing I was hoping Claire would have brought in, but I didn't see any writing to back that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just didn't work.
Yeah, I like the love interest parts. They're okay. I mean, it seems like it really kind of goes in and out with those, but I really like the kind of sassy back talking ones that are like, you're smart, but you're not quite as smart as you think you are, and here's why.
But when it came to when it came to those three, Jamie, Donna, and Nardole, they knew when to razz the doctor, but they knew when the space god became active.
Yeah, they knew
when to pull back.
Let him do his thing.
To let him do his thing. Pull back.
Yeah.
Let him do his thing. That scene where the doctor says his piece as he's about to leave for the TARDIS at the end of Mysterio, when he when the girlfriend, when the journalist finds out that what was her name, and he wouldn't say a word, and Nardole waited for the right time for the doctor to leave, and then he stands up and he tells them, because he couldn't say it right then and there. He waited until the doctor, the moment.
Yeah.
He knew when, don't toy with him. This is not the moment to talk. I'll wait until he leaves and then I'll tell them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that I like. Now, whether he's my favorite, I don't know, but right now he sits as my favorite.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, it changes depending on the mood I'm in when I watch. If I'm feeling nostalgic, it might be, someone from a more classic episode. If I'm just wanting to see something more recent, let's see. So Rick Bradley loved Donna. Carl said, that's why I loved River's song. River, I always loved it when he would say something and she would say, I hate you.
Yeah.
And then he would be like, no, you don't.
The whole running gag that went from the moment that they met each other to the last dialogue that they had together on screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
There were some things about it that I thought were a little wonky with River Song. Some stories I'm like, what the heck's going on? What was it? Time of the Angels and Stone Flesh. I think those were the two episodes that were called, I think. It just got a little weird. And then, having sex in the TARDIS and producing a daughter, and just like, wow, we could bring back the whole population if we have just the humans go on board and just do it.
Yeah.
We can bring back the Gallifreyans again. We can bring back the Time Lords. So
it was definitely an interesting storyline when all of a sudden, you find out who's River related to actually, and then your mind does that whole, okay, give me a minute. I gotta think about all this.
Yeah, it went a little too far in some directions where it was just a little bit like, I'm sure that Moffat was putting tacks on the wall like Deadpool.
Okay.
Put the string up here. Yeah, exactly. Where are we at now?
What did we do to them, and how can we backtrack this later?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
do we have any more questions you want to bring up here?
oh god, does anybody have any questions out there? I know you guys are probably butt tired. You lot.
They're always like,
we're done.
Do this or that.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do the this or that game.
Okay, this or that game.
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
You notice we didn't put Pornhub in there.
I would have. Come to think of it now, I should have put it.
It is a wait a minute.
Spank bang.
Big party or small gatherings?
Well, I like either. I probably go for the small gatherings, but I like conventions.
Depends on the mood, yeah.
Depends on the mood, yeah.
That's how I am, yeah.
This question.
What?
What's worse, laundry or dishes?
Oh, laundry.
Yeah, if you have to do both.
Oh, laundry. I hate bending over. I hate bending down. I have to do that. I hate folding, but with dishes, you just throw them in the dishwasher. Flunk.
Amusement park or day at the beach?
Amusement park. I'm not a beach goer. Yeah, Floridian. Go figure. Shut up, Willow. I love you, but shut up.
Oh, yeah, this is Christian standards.
Yeah.
Toilet paper, over or under?
You need to get an automatic. That's way too slow. You gotta get the
over or under. Here's the question: do I even have it on the roll? I got it on the sink, so it doesn't matter anyway. There's always that one empty roll from 12 years ago, but there will always be a fresh one on the sink.
Hamburger or taco?
Oh, I got to go for a burger. Good burgers.
Laptop or desktop?
Desktop. I feel like I'm at NASA when I use my desktop. I feel like I got screens here, I got a camera here. I got my laptop here too, and I'm just like, whatever, close it up.
Car or truck?
I've never been much of a truck guy, but I go for SUV actually. If there's a SUV, I would want a SUV.
SUV, there you go.
Beer or wine?
I'm not much of a drinker, so whatever Bruce Willis drank back in the 80s. That's Sigrid's wine cooler.
Wine cooler, Zima.
Iced coffee or hot coffee?
Ice. Who drinks that hot shit? I gotta wait. Come on, everybody had that big jug of Tetley tea. Just took a little bit of that scoop out there, throw it in the thing, and it says put 3 scoops in, you put 10, because God forbid you were like a sugar rush, you would like get diabetes at 5. Yeah. That's how it worked. Give me sugar. Sorry, John.
Or a new gadget?
What was the first one? I'm sorry.
A vacation or a new gadget?
Oh my goodness, you Pornhub. Anyway,
there's the new gadget.
You got have money on OnlyFans account.
On Pornhub, you could have both there. I'm a gadget kind of guy, so new gadget, depending on the gadget though.
Go gadget.
Exactly.
Horror or comedy?
Okay, I'm glad you fixed horror because I heard something else for the first time. Because I wanted to know what the other comparison was at that point. I was like, I used to love a good comedy. Now I'm moving into horror films, so horror.
Horror.
Yeah, now I'm trying to figure out.
Please finish that. Please finish the horror part because you forget the last R. I'm hearing something else. Is that northern accent, John? I mean, what's going on up there?
I'm just trying to figure out what the other thing would be for that question.
Horrors or comedy? I don't know.
We're back to porno.
Horror comedy.
Yeah.
Comedy of horrors.
Oh my gosh.
MILFs are mature.
Aren't they the same?
Well, yeah, MILF, yeah. I guess that would be, wouldn't it?
Well,
sorry,
I'm getting you demonetized this episode. I'm sorry.
I'm monetized yet anyway.
There you go. But you could have made 50 cents.
I'm not hurting anything.
If you could interview one person from Doctor Who at any time, any episode, just what who would it be?
That's a funny part. I wouldn't interview him. I would just spend 5 minutes talking to Tom Baker and saying thank you.
There you go.
That would all be. I wouldn't even ask him a single question. So I would interview him if they gave him to me. Yeah, of course. But I would just say thank you, Tom, for basically being my TV dad.
Yeah.
For raising me right to believe that you didn't have to use violence to take somebody down, that you could think things through, that you could be witty. And I've always tried to emulate that wit when things are done. I think that also includes my sense of humor, whores, or for comedy. But I would just thank him. And just like, when I did not find anything I could geek about out, there was a man every Saturday around 3:00 on my PBS channel who I stayed up and watched and just had a great time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I think that's one of the great things about the Doctor is he can be so many different things to so many different people.
Or she.
Or she, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, but I love that the deeper message is that always try kindness first.
Yeah.
That's
always give them a way out. Always say, you give them a chance.
Choice.
Yeah. If you look at everything else, it's always fight. But the Doctor would always walk into the room with them. And the first time you see 9 walking up to the nesting consciousness, he's pulling out the anti-plastic. And Rose says, okay, dump in your anti-plastic and be done with it. And he says, no, I got to give him a chance.
Yeah.
Other people that I know, or at least other heroines that I know, would probably dump it. Not the Doctor. He goes, no, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to work this out, but it's only in the last resort am I going to pull out the gun, or I'm going to throw the anti-plastic in.
Yeah. He always wanted to give someone an opportunity, and he was always as kind as he could be under whatever the circumstances was. But okay, so look who decides to show up. How has Christian assassinated my character since I was busy?
Too late.
You done missed it.
I've taken him outside, shot him, Spanish military style, cigarette and blindfold, everything.
And
I even put a fez on him and then
shot him again.
That's right. And I put a fez on him and not necessarily on his head. So there you go.
Yeah, there's a scene in The Office where there's a character named Toby that Michael, the main guy, pretty much hates. And he says, if I had 2 bullets and Toby was in a room with Bin Laden and Hitler, I'd shoot
Toby twice, right? Heard that joke.
Yes, it's so terrible. But that's just how much he couldn't stand him. So anyway, Brian.
I noticed that Brian remains unanimous as far as picture is concerned. He shall be a blue dot as far as
yes, he doesn't want anybody. See, Dr. Ford even gave Darvos a chance. Yeah.
That was still my favorite thing. And the scene between God, what is it? Wow, my memory is so shot. The scene where they're geeking out with each other. They're not even fighting. They're talking it out. Doctor, come up to me. Scientist to scientist. And that's when they have that discussion. Oh, God, not Genesis of the Daleks. Why can't I think of it? But they just talk. That's all they're doing is talking. Yeah, he gave Davros a chance. He always gave Davros a chance. Yeah. In almost every life, he's given Davros a chance. Even in Capaldi's time.
Yeah.
But he always stayed one step ahead of him.
Yeah. Yep. He always did. Yeah. You should see his impression of you, Brian.
No, he can rewind the tape.
Nothing but love.
Nothing but love.
That's exactly what it was done with. Let's see, it might have been Genesis of the Daleks.
No. I know what you're thinking. No. It wasn't Genesis of the Daleks. Touch these 2 strands. Maybe you're probably right. I just Davros.
I cannot.
Oh, my Wi-Fi is a little borky right now because I'm probably online. You know, I think you're right. I think it is Genesis.
But yeah, I mean, overall, that's I think what we should take away from Doctor Who is that kindness should be your first resort to everything. Let's see. He asked if Davros would like to break the vial that would release a virus that would kill all living things, and Davros said that he would. That's when the Doctor knew he couldn't be saved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brian, I've had him do the impression, Rick, and I have a receipt for all the. Make it rain.
I'm wearing my stripper. What was his stripper name? Nugget or something like that?
Yeah, what was that?
Gold Nugget or something like that?
Yeah.
On the stripper pole, he wears nothing but a bow tie and a fez.
Fez fetish.
Thing is, I would just toss rolls of quarter at him. Just get one of those, those pumpkin chuckers or whatever. Lob it on stage. Yeah, I'll make it rain. It's gonna hurt though.
Yeah, whelps.
Yep.
Bubbly McNugget.
Bubbly McNugget. It might look like you just came from like a paintball range. So
yeah. Make it hail. That's a good one, Rick.
That's the cooking show. Hale and Hale, the cooking show. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I decided if I ever actually did another show, which I have no plans to at this point, that I might do one about all the crazy crap on the internet and call it What the Hale.
What the hell? That's what it should be.
Point, I just don't have time. If I ever want to put another book out, I should probably actually spend time writing. So
no.
Yeah, no.
It's overrated.
Yeah, I mean, it's these things, happen on their own. Nobody actually works out.
Rick wins the night.
Rick wins the night. That was a good one. Oh.
That will be your poll name, Amy. Make it hail. Come on, guys. Here comes Amy. She's pole dancing again. Nothing wearing but a fez and a bow tie. So make it hail in here. Come on. Tipping is not a city, just into the Asian route.
I'll throw my Velma socks in for good measure.
Exactly. So throw some.
Oh my gosh.
Where are my glasses? They're here. They're right here.
Trying to find the pole.
Yep.
Just running into it with my face. Oh God, that sounded wrong.
She goes, Did I find the pole? Yeah, but not the one that you're using to dance with. But he is happy.
Oh my Lord. That did not come out right at all.
That's what she said.
Yeah, there you go. Rick Bradley, thank you. And he takes a bow. Oh, well, we have been going almost 2 hours.
There you go.
Oh no. And here's Amy with Best of Show. Oh my gosh.
John, I'm sorry. This will be demonetized. Never see the light of day, possibly.
In the role of the pole, John Hale. That's going to be our new bedroom talk. Where's the pole?
It's that anyway.
Right.
I'm keeping every comment to myself right now.
Things just go straight.
Because we'll run another 2 hours if I keep this up. Just go straight to hell. That's the religious talk show right there.
There it is, straight to hell, yeah.
Straight to hell.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
all right,
man.
we better wind it down.
Yeah, we better wind. Yeah.
Oh no, they just keep showing up.
Because.
Oh nope, that's the same.
Because you and John have to talk dirty tonight, whether you like it or not.
Wow.
in the most unconventional way.
Yeah, it'll just be us laughing the whole time.
Exactly. There you go.
It's that normally too, anyway.
Oh my God.
Is not. Oh no. Brian says if Christian keeps it up.
I'll show you a poll, Mr. It'll keep that fez up for a while. So we're wrapping up the show, right?
Yeah, we're let's see. You can tell us to stop typing and see how well that works for me. Yeah. I am not saying a word. Not saying a word. Wow.
Well, we were talking about Doctor Who, and that was it.
Yeah. It's just like
what a good moral story it had.
Yeah, we were just talking about the story here. Oh my God!
Oh, Molly, you missed it. We were talking about polls and Amy and fezzes, and Molly, you just missed all. There's a 2-hour run for this one now.
Yeah. I'm sure you will, Christian. Make it.
That's right.
Oh, you guys! I'm so glad you joined us tonight. We love you, but we really do need to wind it down.
Yeah, some of us got to go to bed.
Yep. All right, guys.
Yeah, he's an hour ahead of us, I heard.
Yeah, we didn't get to ask about new users for the sonic screw.
It's got 3 settings, dude.
Oh, and it's driver. Yeah.
Driver.
I'm gonna say it. It's got 3 settings: small, medium. No, I'm sorry, large, medium, Caucasian. I'm done. I can't.
All the speed. Real broadcasters do it for 2 hours.
Yeah, this is for tomorrow's show now. For the
yeah.
So I hear. All right. So I'm glad I got to see the end of the show. See you tomorrow. See you. Yes. Good night, Willow. All right.
That's it. This is the end of the show. This is the last episode. There's no more.
Period. Yes, this is where
Google won't allow it.
Permanently signing off.
We'll see you on all the other shows that we will visit because we're done. No. All right, guys. So we're gonna let Christian get to bed because I'm sure he's got to get up early and he's out.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm sure you have other things to do than sit here. So we'll let everybody say goodbye. But thanks for hanging out with us, Christian. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. My pleasure.
We'll run a goodbye here, and then we'll say goodbyes to you after we turn things off here. So, all right. So
push the button, Mac.
Yeah. All right. So let me
get off my lawn.
Get out of here. Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us, Christian.
Thank you.
And let's go here. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Next week, we have author Matt Shore joining us. So I hope you'll join us then. Going to be another great conversation. And probably a lot of laughs as usual. So please join us and we will see you next week. And let me find everything I need to find here because I'm tired. All right, guys, you have a good night. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Be strong.